This content is for informational purposes only and does not replace professional medical advice. Always consult a qualified healthcare provider for personal health concerns. Have you ever wondered what your life would look like if you could suddenly unlock the remaining 90% of your cognitive potential? It is a tantalizing concept that has permeated our culture for decades, fueled by blockbuster films and best-selling thrillers that promise us dormant superpowers waiting to be tapped. But have you stopped to consider why such a pervasive idea exists, and more importantly, what the actual biological reality is beneath the surface of this cinematic trope? The notion that we only utilize a tiny fraction of our neuroarchitecture is one of the most persistent misconceptions in modern history. It is an alluring narrative because it suggests that we are all sitting on a goldmine of untapped genius, just waiting for the right key to turn the lock. Yet, when we look at the cold, hard facts provided by neuroimaging and physiological data, the picture becomes significantly more nuanced. If we truly left the vast majority of our brain idle, it would be an evolutionary anomaly, a massive, energy-consuming organ that serves little purpose. Medical professionals and neuroscientists have spent years mapping the intricate electrical and chemical dances that occur within our skulls every second of the day. From the moment you wake up to the deepest stages of your sleep cycle, your brain is a hive of constant, coordinated activity. Even when you are sitting perfectly still, your neurons are firing, managing everything from your heartbeat and respiration to the complex processing of sensory information and emotional regulation. It is a symphony of biological precision that never truly takes a rest. As we peel back the layers of this fascinating subject, we need to distinguish between the myths that sell movie tickets and the evidence-based findings that describe how our bodies actually function. Let's shift our perspective away from the science fiction and look at what your brain is truly doing behind the scenes. To move past the cinematic allure of untapped potential, we have to look directly at the hardware itself. Modern neuroimaging technology has fundamentally dismantled the idea that large swaths of our gray matter sit idle. When researchers utilize functional magnetic resonance imaging, or fMRI, to observe blood flow and oxygen consumption, the results are unambiguous. Even during moments of quiet reflection or light rest, your brain exhibits a complex, persistent pattern of activity. If we were truly using only 10% of our capacity, evolution would have almost certainly pruned away the remaining 90%. The brain is an incredibly expensive organ to maintain. It accounts for about 2% of your body weight, but consumes roughly 20% of your daily caloric intake. From a biological standpoint, keeping a massive, dormant structure fueled would be a massive evolutionary disadvantage. Nature favors efficiency, and our neuroarchitecture is a testament to that optimization. PET scans provide further clarity by tracking glucose metabolism across different regions. While it is true that you aren't utilizing every single neuron simultaneously, which would likely lead to a catastrophic seizure rather than a display of genius, you do engage the entirety of your brain throughout the day. Different tasks recruit different networks, much like a conductor signaling specific sections of an orchestra to rise in volume. No instrument is left sitting silently in the dark for the duration of the performance. This constant, rhythmic engagement means that even simple actions, such as picking up a glass of water, involve a sophisticated dance between the motor cortex, the cerebellum, and the visual processing centers. These systems are in a state of perpetual communication, fine-tuning your movements and interpreting your surroundings in real time. Now that we have established that your hardware is firing on all cylinders, we have to ask why this persistent myth of the unused brain gained such a stronghold in our culture, and what it might actually be masking about our true cognitive potential. If we are indeed operating at full capacity, why does the idea of a dormant 90% feel so strangely convincing? To understand the endurance of this narrative, we have to look back at the dawn of modern neurology. When they stimulated specific areas of the brain with electrodes, they found that some regions triggered physical responses, like a twitch in a finger or a blink of an eye, while others, the so-called silent areas, produced no immediate, observable reaction. At the time, science lacked the sophisticated imaging tools we possess today. It was a logical leap for the era, but one that ignored the vast, complex internal processing occurring behind the scenes. This misunderstanding was unfortunately amplified by early self-help movements. The narrative shifted from a scientific observation to a seductive promise that if you could simply unlock these hidden chambers, you could achieve superhuman feats of memory, intelligence, or even telepathy. It was an incredibly appealing thought. This optimistic spin turned a neurological misinterpretation into a cornerstone of popular psychology. From there, the myth migrated seamlessly into the bedrock of modern entertainment. Whether it is a protagonist gaining extraordinary abilities through a brain-expanding pill or a thriller centered on the dangers of accessing the unlocked regions of the mind, the myth serves as a perfect vehicle for fantasy. We see it in cinema, literature, and even marketing campaigns that promise to help you maximize your underutilized brain power. It is important to recognize that this isn't just a harmless bit of trivia. By framing the brain as a machine that is mostly idling, we inadvertently diminish the incredible, constant work our minds perform every single second. As we peel back these layers of cultural influence and historical error, we have to consider what the actual constraints of our intellect are, and how we might better understand our true cognitive limits without relying on the comfort of a myth. Moving beyond the realm of philosophy, we can look at the cold, hard reality of clinical neurology to see exactly why this 10% narrative simply doesn't hold up under scrutiny. In practice, however, we see the opposite. Think about the sheer density of the human brain. Evolution is notoriously efficient. It does not sustain such an energy-hungry organ if 90% of it is just sitting there, gathering dust. Instead, they see a highly orchestrated, complex web of activity. It is effectively on, all the time, managing your heartbeat, filtering sensory input, and maintaining your internal equilibrium. If you reach out to grab a glass of water, your motor cortex, cerebellum, and sensory processing centers are communicating in milliseconds. The clinical evidence is clear: there is no silent area of the brain that could be removed without consequence. We don't have untapped potential hidden in the folds of our anatomy. We have a fully utilized, finely tuned biological engine. They are a reflection of the inherent trade-offs in biological processing. Understanding this is actually empowering. In summary, the brain is a fully utilized organ where every component serves a distinct purpose. Your brain is not an idling machine, it is a high-performance system working at full capacity every moment of your life. This content is for informational purposes only. If you found this information helpful, consider subscribing for more deep dives into the science of the human body.